Hey guys, welcome back to another review here on the Munch meter. Of course, I'm here with nobody this time because not really any particular reason. Like I said, why not? Let's do a solo review. I'm the most qualified to talk about this particular game. My personal favorite, BattleBlock Theater. 360 classic. Came out on Steam like, I don't know, maybe 8-7 years ago, but it originally came out on Xbox 360. One of my favorite games. Been playing that for a very long time. And once I got my Xbox One, oh man, that was one of the first games I downloaded. Let me tell you, this is definitely one of the games you have to try, man. Like, my goodness, this is one of the best platforming games ever known to mankind. Sadly, probably forgotten by the masses, but if you see it, I'm sure maybe you will not have forgotten. Once you see this game, you're like, oh, I remember it now. And then you're like, damn, all the memories rushing back if you played it. Sort of like Castle Crashers type of nostalgia, but it's a very different game. Same company though. The Behemoth makes bangers. So let's go ahead and get right into the start of this review here. Right here, we're gonna start off with a bit of a lore dump. So the whole deal with the lore is our friends here, the SS Friendship, pulls up and they're like, all right, we're gonna go on an exciting, harrowing adventure. Maybe they'll even find spooky pirates. Then, maybe even find the haunted ghost island full of candy or something. That sort of deal. And then all of a sudden, freaking storm comes in. Boom. Narrator explains it best. You have to play the game. Like the narrator is absolutely incredible, but that's besides the point. Storm comes in, boom, everybody's panicking. Like, people are screaming and crying. Some who are shitting themselves are crying, and then freaking freaking Zeus himself just strikes down the ship, and then they crash on a little abandoned island from called BattleBlock Theater Island. That lore is gonna be important later, right? But crash into this island full of cats, and these cats are like mutant cats. These guys are like fucking basically people at this point, right? So these cats, oh my goodness, they torture you throughout the entire game, pretty much putting you through these like mazes, levels, pretty much. That's how the levels are, platformer and shit, puzzle levels, whatever. Go through them by yourself or with a friend, whatever, right? But they put you through this, and your whole objective is to, first of all, escape the theater, and secondly, to save Hattie Haddington. Say hi to Hattie, because he is like king friend of Friendship Kingdom, right? So, everybody loves Hattie Haddington. I love Hattie Haddington, but that's besides the point, right? So Hattie was brainwashed as soon as he got on the island, kidnapped by the cats. They put a little hat on him, and this hat basically stole this man's soul, sucked him dry. Shallow, decrepit being of his own self, He is not the Hattie Haddington everyone loved before, and he is now just a dried up old man. They don't know that. Nobody knows that yet, so we're not going to talk about that just yet. So we spend the whole game going through all these levels, narrator after every world, or every like 10 stages or so. They give you a little cutscene, pretty much. And then that cutscene, oh my goodness, they are amazing. Perfect quality. They have the little like stick puppets, That adds to the charm, and then the narrator just ties it on a neat little bow together. Stamper is one of the best narrators in games, and they have to do that more. Stamper is a great narrator. So, it certainly helps that the cutscenes are funny. I'll give it that. They're like supposed to be sort of kid friendly. Obviously, he's meant to mess up sometimes. So he's like, man, sometimes the poo hit the fan. I'm like, yeah, that is actually like W writing right there. I love that. I love like games that have just stupid narrators just saying a bunch of dumb shit. One of my favorite type of games, for real, dog. But yes, then after you pretty much go through the entire game, all these cutscenes, through all the levels, pretty much like 8 worlds or whatever, right? And then you finally just get to Hattie at the very end of the last level. Intense level design, testing you on all the skills you've learned. And then all of a sudden, you finally make it to the very end. Hattie's just sitting there in his chair, and then you get to Hattie. He's still limp, so you drag him out. You're like, fuck it, we're not leaving without Hattie heading. So this is the entire reason we play this game, right? And then you leave with him. You know, you shoot down the cats. For some reason, they have rifles now, and everybody's screaming and pissing. And then the freaking cats are all dying. And then your entire like prisoner. It's like these people are called prisoners, right? Obviously, I don't know what their race is called. They call them humans, I guess. But cats called the prisoners, right? So all the prisoners, they're just escaping right now because obviously they were wrongfully imprisoned. So they're going back to the SS friendship. It was repaired, and then you know we escape with Hattie, and then the end cutscene rolls. Everybody's happy except for Hattie, because Hattie is not in his own body anymore. This man is just gone because, you know, the cats just put a hat on him. You know, he wasn't even him anymore. One of the saddest endings ever. But then it is immediately overwritten. They're like, all right, well, when life gives you potatoes, you make potato salad, right? And then they just go into this boogie beat down W song at the very end called "Buckle Your Pants." One of the greatest songs of all time, my favorite. But yeah, they pretty much just launched him off the ship. He's alright, just fucking throw this dude overboard with the hat. You know, he slowly floats down after a fat ass like song number, right? But it's pretty good. And at the very end, he's just chilling at the bottom of the ocean, just dead. And then the hat lands back on him. And the hat launches a little laser beam, which is important to the story because then it all makes sense after that, right? But we're not going to talk about that because that's in a different game called Pit People, right? They're kind of connected. But we'll get to that one whenever I decide to maybe review Pit People. I don't know if I will, but, you know, we'll get there at some point. Pit People's a whole different game, but, you know, we'll get there when we get there. So that's pretty much the slight lore dump here of a BattleBlock Theater, you know? Not heavy lore, nothing complex, but hey, it drives you through the story. It starts you off somewhere and it gets you to the end. Very simple, but very fun. Alright, let's go into gameplay now. So, there's a couple game modes here on BattleBlock Theater. So, there's a section called like Fur Bottom's Features. Sadly, whenever I attempt to go into it now, it doesn't load for me, so I can't really, you know, you know, show you guys or anything. But pretty much what it was, from what I recall, was stages that people had. So there's a level editor, right? You can make whatever level you want. So I'm pretty sure what it was people's like top stages. They would get uploaded to there, and then you would be able to play them and then have fun, you know. Like I love level editors. They always keep the game like fresh and new, right? So that was pretty much Fur Bottom's features. However, there's another thing called Arena, which is like a bunch of mini game collection. So there's a bunch of these little mini games. They're all like pretty fucking fun and cool and stuff. There's all co-op and versus and shit. You know, they got King of the Hill, got challenge where you score the best time on a level. You got Muckle where you just beat the shit out of each other. You got Soul Snatcher where you suck the enemy's soul out of their bodies. Color the World. Oh man, Color the World is so simple. But you like pretty much just stand on blocks and you color them and you like try to get the majority color. It's pretty fun. Given how simple the thing is, you got a grab bag. It's pretty much just a random community level. You grab the gold. You pretty much grab a bunch of little square gold blocks, but occasionally a little whale will spawn. It gives you a fat load of gold. That's how you win the game, you know? A ball game, so pretty much it's a soccer ball and you play basketball with it. And they capture the horses where you murder each other and you attempt to take each other's pigs, right? It's pretty cool. I like it. And then, you know, that was co-op, and then pretty much versus is like did the same thing, but you're like fighting each other, right? And then yeah, that's all the little side game modes there. But you see, where everything gets tasty and where the majority of the game is, you get to go into the story mode. Now, I played through both the normal, like forever ago, and then I also played through Insane a couple years ago. So normal mode, you know, pretty standard. Yeah, I can't say it's pretty difficult because they give you checkpoints, right? You know, normal mode is pretty forgiving because you get checkpoints, you respawn, and do whatever you want, take out however long you want. But insane mode is where it's at. That's where you want to play the game. Insane mode, even if you get a checkpoint, it doesn't matter. You die, the whole level resets. That's how you want to play the game. I suffered through that. Not gonna lie, sometimes it did kind of get me irritated a long time ago, but actually I replayed through a couple of the last hard levels on insane mode just for the recording of this video. So, you know, they weren't that bad, but that's probably just because I'm older and more experienced. But yeah, let's just say you're going through the whole game, you're gonna get mad on insane mode. That's like a good 80 levels just having to restart from scratch if you die once. Oh man, but yeah, so story mode is that's amazing. You're gonna, if you want to play by yourself, you play by yourself. You can play co-op with a friend. The cool thing about BattleBlock Theater with co-op is that the level designs change so that you have to be like cooperative with your friend, right? So you can't just play through them like they're a single player level. You have to like kind of wait for your friend and like kind of cooperate with them to like you know, actually beat the level, because some of the levels are dead ass impossible without a friend. Like you have to have somebody there. I mean, unless you're like a loner and you decide to plug in 2 controllers, but you know that's for babies. Who does that? No. But yeah, it's story mode. Oh man, definitely great. Platforming, there's all sorts of platforming, man. Like you're gonna go in there. There's a little character customizer sort of. I mean, you pretty much just choose your head and your skin color from like purple to blue to green to yellow, you know, that sort of deal. There's a bunch of different heads and head shapes you can collect and stuff. It's pretty nifty if you like into like collecting shit. But yeah, all the little levels are like shaped like movie theaters, so they're all like themed, right? So it's pretty cool. And then like there's pretty much it's simple platforming. You can double jump and all that. You could also use what's it called, items that you can unlock through the little gift shop. And the gift shop's also where you can, you know, unlock all the little prisoner skins and all this other stuff. But that doesn't matter. It's not integral to the gameplay. However, the items are, and the little weapons actually, they're pretty crucial sometimes. You want to like get that little edge in your friends. You want to just kill them in the level for shits and giggles. Why not? You know. But you know, if you're playing insane, obviously if you kill each other, you're gonna restart. But you know, that's besides the point. But yeah, there's a bunch of little things that they teach you: is jetpacks, wind turbines, fucking cats, and more cats. You know, after you go through about, I want to say 9 levels, you get to the 10th level. The 10th level is always gonna be like a little racing section boss area. Matter of fact, I'm going through one of them right now as we review this, just so I can get a quick refresher. So pretty much what happens is you're gonna go to these things, and they're different compared to regular levels. I mean, like they're like harder, obviously, than regular levels, but they're gonna give you a little timer, and you're gonna want to complete them within the timer. And then they have a nice little soundtrack that kind of gets you like, you know, like racked up, nervous. You're like, oh shit, and it's kind of intense, you know. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm like kind of shitting myself type stuff, right? So you're going through these levels, and you just fucking like, oh man, this is pretty intense, right? Obviously, if you're playing in insane mode, it's way more intense than you're just playing on normal. Because if you die once, you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever. But sometimes, like yeah, if you die in insane mode, obviously you gotta restart. It's a little bit more of a detriment because you're also on a timer, right? But sometimes the timer isn't really like too threatening. They give you pretty ample time. But sometimes you're like kind of racing against the clock, and it's actually kind of fun, right? But if you suck ass at the game, you're not like a pro. You're definitely gonna struggle, like especially if you're not good with platformers, right? But this is a pretty simple platformer. I'm pretty sure anybody could like pick it up and like learn it super easily, and then, you know, just start clapping cheeks just pretty much straight up, right? So honestly, this game, oh my gosh, it's just a staple of childhood. I remember buying this game forever ago, 8 years ago. We're buying this game, man. A W of an expense right there. This game is also where we use the background music for most of our videos. The soundtrack's just a banger. Like, my goodness. Like, personally, I think it was like a Petrified Mummy is one of them. That's a pretty good one. You guys will like that one. And I think the finale one is really good and kind of intense. I really like it. The beginning is the narrator is like saying like run. Actually, no, wait, never mind. Yeah, it was a finale. It was a finale level. It was the narrator, you know, Stamper, saying run, like in a really intense way, because it's hyping you up. You're like, oh shit, this is the last level. My goodness, what an intense game. You're going through it, and then they'll hit you with the amazing ending. Right there, my personal favorite ending of one of the many games that I've played. Oh man, it's getting me a little sentimental right now, because I truly do enjoy this game here. One of my favorites of all time. But yeah, you guys have to give this a shot if you ever like manage to do it. Obviously, if you have a 360 and you already have the game, replay it. If you don't have a 360, I freaking don't buy one for it. No, maybe you could, but I doubt you'd probably be able to get your hands on it. But for those of you who want to play this game, you're like, damn, maybe I should go through it for a replay because you haven't played it in so long. Maybe like, oh, this is really the first time playing this. Go ahead, buy it on Steam. Fucking, you will not regret it. I think there's extra. I'm pretty sure there's extra little features on Steam that they added. You know, for it to, you know, like to qualify for. How do you put it? You know, like actually we're putting a game on a new platform. So that they added a couple extra like Steam exclusive features. I haven't really looked at them, but they look kind of nifty. You know, like a couple extra enemies and shit like that. Maybe a few levels. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's pretty much how like the levels go. But at the end of these like finale levels, you have to go race to the end of it. So they're combination of 2 levels that are pretty difficult usually. And then you gotta get to like a little key, and then everybody throws roses at you, and they say you're famous at the end. Clap at you, but they like freaking do is like a spring lock on you type shit. But then yeah, and then pretty much to give you one of those cool cutscenes. There's about 8 to 9-ish cutscenes. Some of the levels have secret levels in them, so there's a couple extra bonus levels. And after you finish a like section of like 10 levels, there's 3 bonus time levels as well, and those are pretty difficult as well. Those are harder than the finale levels, and they're completely optional. So you know that's why they're like way harder. I still haven't really done them because I'm kind of like lazy, but I'll probably get to it at some point. They're pretty difficult. I will say that. Definitely more difficult than the finale levels. So if you're looking for a challenge, you pretty much complete all the main levels, the whole game, and then go back and then do all the challenge optional levels. That's gonna get your bricks out your ass. You know, your freaking your Jimmy soak. You know, the whole ordeal. Yeah, honestly, the art style in the game is amazing. I love it. The cutscenes, the little like stick art, that is very, very wholesome, very you know, unique. I love it. The regular art style of the game, it says signature behemoth look, and I love it. Absolutely incredible art style. Great game design as well. I love it. So you know, if you ever want to give this game a shot, go ahead, do it. You will not regret it. You should buy it now. You know. But yeah, Behemoth gotta be one of my favorite game studios out there. Always be making banger after banger. Pit People maybe a little bit less of a banger, but it was my type of game, so I kind of liked it. I really did like Pit People. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do another like Behemoth game review. You know, kind of the games people have forgotten about, sort of deal. You know. Oh man. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, man, jeez. I love this game. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. We reviewed the lore, gameplay. I don't think I'm really missing anything else. Oh, yeah, and the game modes. Remember, you can play online too if you have a little buddy. It's like you don't have to play co-op with a person sitting next to you on your couch, especially if you live with fucking nobody. You got no friends. So if you got like a friend around like Canada or something, you're like, yo, bro, how about BattleBlock Theater? He said, bet. Boom. Now you guys will have a game to play for a good couple hours, especially on insane mode. You get mad at each other, you might lose a friend there. But yeah. Alright guys, so that is the end of this shorter review. Yeah, I know, not the greatest review ever or the longest, but hey, it's a quick little review on one of my favorite personal games here, BattleBlock Theater. Remember, you can buy it on 360, or you do it if you already have it on 360, or you know, buy it on Steam if that fancies you. You know, go ahead and buy it on Steam though. That's probably a better idea because I don't know, most people have a laptop that can run this thing. If you have a fucking Windows XP, you can probably run this thing. But yeah, go ahead, give it a shot. I have full confidence you will enjoy the game if you ever download it. 100%. Now, of course, casual. You can play, nah, I don't want to do this hard game. Then you play normal. Then you can just have checkpoints. You can take it at your own pace, you know. And yeah, that's the whole review, man. Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, 100%, 100 out of 100, perfect game right here. Absolutely perfect game right here. Now I know you're like, damn, 100. This is only your second review. Well, yeah, but this game, oh man, one of the greatest games of all time. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it, folks. Remember to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, maybe even donate $1 or so in Patreon. You know, do what you must. But yeah, you know, go ahead and support us and my co-host, the editor, on his little journeys here. So yeah, keep on munching, folks, and we'll see you next time.